Topic for today, for this entire week, actually will be working on recruiting and hiring the right people, right? So, the common problem that we realtors have in our business is the growth, right? You start off, you follow some systems, you get some lead gen going on, some lead follow-up, going. And at the end of the day, it's a natural progression in your business that you're going to hire someone. Right. And for the most part, it may be that I'm going to start off with hiring an assistant. Someone's going to help me with all the paperwork, all the minutia, all the stuff that's going on in my business so that you can keep doing what you do best. And that is putting a buyer and a seller together. That's where you're working on. Right. So this is just the natural progression. Right. So when you have, support staff, right, it helps you get you to that growth path, it gets you to that plan. Right. But hiring the right people for the right roles, right? Tom talks about how you don't hire the person, you hire the role, right? You don't hire because they're really good, a nice person. You hire them because they're really good at that role. Right? That role. Now, when you're interviewing for a admin person, what are the specific characteristic traits that person needs to have for it to fill in that role? If you're hiring an ISA, an inside sales associate, who's going to be nurturing and making the calls, you're hiring for that specific skill set, okay, for that role. Right. So I wrote down a few points I want you to write down. Right. The first one is your mentality about work. What is it? What's that mentality about work? And more specifically, what you should be doing, what someone else should be doing, right? See, when you're creating that realization that what to get you to that exponential growth comes down to delegating, right? It's basically your income versus your hourly rate, So what you're making based upon your activities. Now, should you, if you look at your dollar production activities, right? If you earn, for example, $100 an hour based upon your activities, why would you be doing activities that you can pay someone for $15 an hour, right? Or $20 an hour, whatever that may be. So really understanding the difference between, hey, this is the income versus the hourly rate. What's my hourly rate? Have you ever calculated that out? Have you ever looked at it and said, okay, when I make my calls or when I connect with people, right, I get X amount of business. That X amount of business translates into, time spent to income grown. So what's your average per hour income, right? And if you take away that $15 activity, because you're a professional, you're the one that took the classes, you're the one that got the license, you're the one that's being on my calls, learning the skill sets to be the best salesperson you can be, right? You have that degree as a salesperson. Why are we still dealing with the paperwork? Why are we picking up deposit checks? Why are we putting up for sale signs? Why are we staging homes? Like, seriously, why are you at the house? Why are you measuring rooms? Right? Why are you doing that? Right? I get paid $1,000 an hour. Why am I there? Right? I can have someone else for $15 an hour. So really understand that it's a mindset thing first and foremost. Right? And I really hate it when I hear, I have a problem letting go. Okay. You also have a problem losing money. That's what you have, right? So, and I get it. There is that feeling satisfied about your day versus feeling massively productive about your day, right? You feel satisfied when you go and put that deposit, put up that for sale sign versus, hey, I could have been spending more time on the phones connecting with more people, right? I get that, but you have to choose. Remember, life's all about choices. And what are the choices that you're making? Okay. Next thing I wrote down is make the right hire. This is so key, right? Make the right hire, right? And what are you going to have in place? And you should have a list. Write this down. Write down everything you need to hire the right person. And this could be something like, for example, a DISC personality test. Like you start off with that, right? Maybe you have a series of who's reviewing the actual resumes, not just yourself, but maybe someone else in the office. Maybe your broker helps you with this, reviewing resumes, right? Maybe you actually hire a company like Spark Hire or HR Avatar that do the hiring for you. They do the vetting for you, right? Do you start off by having a Zoom meeting first before you go into an actual in-person interview, right? Do you have pre-interview and prerequisites of what is it that you're looking for? Remember this, when it comes to hiring, you hire slowly, but you fire quickly, right? And I go, some of my team members, right? Those of you on the team, and you're thinking, well, Danny, I'm on a team. We have an assistant, we have an ISA, we have a transaction coordinator. We get that. But you know what? We have teams. Like Tim Smith from the Orange County comes to mind, where he has team members that have an assistant as well, right? So they've gone out and hired and are part of their little team within the team. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? It's that you're on a team because of the energy, because of what you're getting out of the team members and being part of that company. I call it a company, but really it's a team. There's nothing wrong with you going and getting a virtual assistant. There's nothing wrong with you having someone that takes care of your social media. There's nothing wrong with that. So even though some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about seems like it's just directed to team leads, it's not. It's for everyone on this call. You need help. There's no reason for you to be doing the $15 activities when you should be doing the $100 or $1,000 activities. All right. Next thing we look at is number three. I wrote down is have a clear and organized understanding of your needs. What is it that you want to be assisted on? Like really write this stuff down, right? Things that you need to prepare, right? What are the things? Like maybe write out, for example, a handbook for everyone on the team. Now for that position, here's the handbook for that position. Write out the job descriptions and expectations, very key. And then also, I'm a big fan of this, is obviously sharing your mission. Sharing what it is that you want to do as team lead. Hey folks, you guys are on my team. This is my mission. This is my values. This is my vision, where I see us going. And this is what we're going to aim towards. So you really need to outline what it is and organize yourself. What is that you need to be assisted by? Then the question becomes this, and I wrote this down, is do you insource versus outsource, right? And the choices really comes down to you. And it comes down to best suited to the business and the intent of growing your goals, right? Are you prepared to be looking at outsourcing some of the stuff like social media? Do you have a separate company? Like this is not something you need in-house. I could outsource this. Many of us have, lead generation tools like Boomtown, which is an outsource for lead gen, right? Or do you have someone in-house like a virtual assistant that's making the calls, connecting and generating leads for you? How's that being done, right? How are you organized? Now, for you to decide whether to go with outsourcing or insourcing really comes down to is how patient are you? How technically forward are you? How organized you are, right? Questions to be thinking about, right? Do I insource or do I outsource? Are you hiring for a defined position? Right? And that'd be easy to outsource, like lead gen. I'm looking for lead gen. This is all I want. So I'm going to outsource this. Or do you need someone a little bit more general? Hey, I need an actual assistant. So it's going to be insourced. I need to have person here that I can deal with, and they're going to be doing a variety of things versus define one specific role, right? What else do we have here? When it comes down to outsourcing, right? You need to have a few things in place. Right. I need you to write this down. So for insourcing, it's easy to train them because it's a company. It's easy to communicate with them. It's easy to understand what the expectations are because it's very aligned. This is my specific position. Well, or outsourcing becomes a little bit more, hey, I need this, and that's all you're going to be doing. That's all you're going to be working on, right? And at the end of the day, when it comes to hiring, it really comes down to the effectiveness of this hire is on you. It's on what do you have in place to, like I'm talking about resources. I'm talking about, having a clear, definite plan of what I need from you. It's your training of the person. You're going to get out of them on how prepared you are to train them. So the better you are of organizing yourself, right? And any role in your business, you need to train them some way, somehow, and have the stuff in place to train them. Now, this can be obviously just a simple, hey, here's a checklist. This is what you got to do. Just follow that checklist. But I would challenge you to be more in depth. If you want the benefits of getting people to delegate would be, how specific do you have this in place? Like, for example, creating some short videos of telling people how do you want things done, right? I have a lot of clients are like, hey, Danny, I keep going through people. I keep going through assistants. That's because you have your hands in theirs. You're constantly over their shoulder versus creating a simple training. Hey, this is what I want done. Knock yourself out, right? Fall a little bit. Make mistakes, right? We'll figure it out because the mistake may be just in the way I trained you, right? So we're looking at delegating your task, being the best. Now, as we move forward this week, I'm going to get into more in depth on, hey, should we do virtually versus not virtually? What sort of training should you have put in place? We're going to get into those kind of things, those type of questions and answering those questions. All right. I'm going to stop there for now. Questions, concerns, hallucinations, anything about training, anything about hiring right now? No? All right. All right. That's the case. No problem. So please unmute yourselves. Everyone unmute yourselves. Someone's going to leave. Oh, no one left. All right. All right. So just curious. What day is today?
Money-making day.
That's right. It's a money-making day. So what do you need to do today to move the needle in your business? You guys are awesome. I'll talk to all of you tomorrow. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Danny.